The holidays are full of food, family, and fun. But let's be honest, also stress, sugar, and schedules that make us feel like we have lost all control. What if this year could feel different? What if you could actually enjoy the holidays with steady energy, fewer cravings, and zero guilt?
Why do we keep going back to quick fixes, even when we know they don't work?
Welcome to the Coaches Hotline. Glucose, grit, and grace. Real talk with coaches, no sugarcoating.
We're here to help you ditch the diet cycle, stabilize blood sugar, and finally feel at home in your body.
Because health isn't about restriction. It's about freedom, energy, and confidence.
Let's dive in. Welcome to the Health Coaches Hotline, Glucose, Grit, and Grace. Today, we are tackling one of the biggest challenges of the year, staying healthy through the holidays without feeling deprived or like you're missing out. Today, we're going to walk you through how to keep your blood sugar balanced, your energy stable, and your mindset strong, even when the dessert table or the eggnog is calling your name. Because thriving through the holidays isn't about restriction. It's about preparation, intention, and of course, grace. So if we're being honest, many of us have said, I'm going to start again January 1st. Am I alone in this?
No, I think I spent 30 years saying that until last year.
Yeah. I think saying that actually gave me permission to myself to eat everything up until January 1st. You know, you've heard that Last Supper concept, right?
Mhm.
This is like the last month of suppers.
That on or off mentality as well, because I don't want to be that girl during the holidays.
Right.
But, you know, we've learned that that's not the case anymore. That's not what you have to do.
That's been so freeing.
Going into the holiday season really gave me a lot of anxiety because I already knew that I was going to eat things that I wasn't supposed to be eating, and then I wasn't going to feel good, but I'm going to start again in January. So I like you said, I gave myself permission. What if this year, instead of surviving, we decided to actually enjoy the holidays? And not enjoy like I'm going to be gluttonous and eat all the things, but really enjoying what holidays I believe are truthfully about. It's what you're getting the grandkids, who you get to see that you haven't seen in forever. And none of that requires food or choices. So I think one of the most powerful shifts that one can make this season is really shifting from perfection to just being prepared. When you have a plan for things that you can control, your plate, your portions, and your perspective, and giving yourself grace for the things that you actually don't have control over.
For new listeners, explain what PSC3 lifestyle is.
It is the concept of eating a protein, a fat, and a carb every 3 to 4 hours. And what that does is it keeps blood sugar balanced. Now, when you guys hear prepared, not perfect, what comes up for you?
For me, my mom always gets love those things. I know I'm going to have that. I'm prepared to have that. I also know that I'm going to have it as part of my meal. I'm going to eat my protein first. So that's being prepared.
How about you, Amber?
You know what really comes up for me, well-intentioned people would notice that I was drinking water or not standing by the dessert table and having dessert, or they would offer and I'd say, oh, no, thank you. Oh, you're being good today. Yeah. You know, which really implies that if I had chosen to partake in the deliciousness, that I wasn't being good. And I mean, I think that that's a mindset that we all have, that if I'm perfect, then I'm being good. And so if I'm not being perfect, then I'm not being good. Now, knowing what I know, that you being good because you're showing up for yourself and you're being intentional. And so you're really making sure that you're taken care of in a prepared way, not in a perfect way.
So I have a client who was telling me, she was like, she had just finished her Jumpstart and she walked into this going away party, and the first thing they did was offer her cake. And she said, I told them I could have the cake if I wanted to, but I don't love how that makes me feel. So I'm not going to have that right now.
Oh, good
And
for her.
yeah, so just that, being aware and being
Mhm.
intentional about your choices. So it's not about being perfect or not perfect. It's about doing what's best for you at that moment.
During the holidays, we're going to be traveling. There's more social events than we may typically have. There's the family dynamics. Again, family members, maybe you only see every, once a year or a couple times a year. Some of those dynamics can be stressful. There's stress hormones that can be on high alert because of all of this. Your cortisol spikes, your blood sugar swings, and suddenly, guess what? You're craving that sugar, you want the carbs, and it's considered comfort for you. I know for me, that was always, if I needed comfort, I was going for those carbs. And what I found out, it wasn't because I lacked the willpower, it was the chemistry within my body. So when your stress goes up, your body releases glucose, all right, for quick energy, because it says, oh, we're stressed, it's that fight or flight type of a scenario. We need some quick energy. So your body releases that glucose. When the sugar burns off, though, you crash. Have you guys ever done like the box breathing? Breathe
Yes.
in for like 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and
Yeah.
then hold for 4. That is amazing how that can bring down that level of stress as well and help you rebalance in so many situations. What about when we go to the Christmas party at work, or we go to the family Christmas where everybody brings potluck and their favorite dishes, or you have potlucks at work, or any of those other type of holiday things? So the first thing you want to look at on your plate is scan over the table. What's the protein that's there? Shrimp cocktail is an awesome thing for protein. Turkey, a lot of times you're going to see some of those little sandwiches of those little turkey lunch meats or something. I know my daughter-in-law makes them with like turkey and then cucumber. And look at the meatballs. A lot of times you're going to see meatballs. You might want to be a little bit careful of the sauce. Not that you can't have it, but meatballs are also great protein. Deviled eggs, those are awesome for protein.
And it's your fat too.
Yes. And then the deli roll-ups. But again, just kind of look at what's in there. If they're kind of in there with cream cheese or stuff, you might want to consider that with your fat. And then we have the healthy fats. So a lot of times you're going to see olives on those meat plates. You're going to see cheese cubes. Nuts are usually a big thing during holiday parties. Guacamole is also a great healthy fat. And again, if you're having those deviled eggs, there's usually a mayonnaise or an avocado mayonnaise or something like that in your deviled eggs, your deli roll-ups. So again, start with your protein, add your fat, and then look at your smart carbs. So look at a veggie plate with hummus or ranch dip on it. Roasted vegetables, apples and berries. You're going to see a lot of pomegranates, cranberries. So a lot of what we're talking about is rebalancing and moving on.
So if you remember the 6 spinning plates, it is, I always end up missing one, but I'm going to count off so I don't miss one. Nutrition, hydration, movement, sleep, stress management, and supplements. Let's give our plates a little holiday twist, how we're going to deal with, say, nutrition through the holidays. All right. So the biggest thing that we used to do, and maybe listeners out there are still doing, is they think, well, I'm going to fast all day to save up my calories for dinner. And that is actually one of the worst things that you can do when you're looking at blood sugar balance, because it's not about calories. It's about feeding your body what it needs every 3 to 4 hours, so it doesn't have to find that nutrition in your muscles and in your body, right? So you don't have to eat large meals every 3 to 4 hours. And if I know, like if I've eaten a big holiday meal the night before, I might not be super hungry the next morning. So I'll eat like half of a meal instead of a full meal. And what I tell my clients is, don't skip these meals. Eat 3 hours before your big event, eat 3 hours after your big event, even if they're half meals,
Right.
because it tells your body, hey, we are not going into a feast to prepare for famine. We're
Right.
going to, we might eat a little bit more than we usually do. We might enjoy ourselves, but in 3 hours, I'm going to feed you again. So second, hydration. So start your day with a glass of water.
Yeah.
And then if you're at an event and you want to have a glass of wine, great, have a glass of wine or a cocktail, and then have some water. For your movement, schedules get busy and we are doing more. We're responsible for more. We have more on our plate. And so if you can just pack in little what I call exercise snacks. So a 10-minute walk before or after a big meal, or squats, sit and do 30 squats but after a big meal, and your blood sugar will go right down because your body is using the energy that you just gave it.
Yep.
Or a lot of us wear smartwatches, and if you haven't moved enough during an hour, it will tell you at 10 minutes till you need to start moving. So use that as your cue to just walk around the house or do some more squats or do some counter push-ups or something, and move throughout the day, because they are finding that that's actually better for you than exercising for 30 minutes and then sitting all day.
Yeah.
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 So for stress, we talked about this a little bit. Do that box breathing, or plan your day and realize what you can control and let go of what you can't control. Then supplements. Keep your usual routine. Don't skip your supplements. You may want to increase some that are stress management supplements, like your bees, but don't do it without talking to your doctor. And then also be sure to take a good probiotic, prebiotic, digestive enzyme like that the PFC3 group talks about, because those will really support your gut health, which will help you feel better.
Yeah.
So those are great, great ways to think about the 6 plates during the holidays. I just realized I forgot to talk about sleep in the 6 plates. So I actually only talked about 5. So I totally skipped over sleep. But that is my go-to. It often because I have an autoimmune disease, I usually guard my sleep. I'm usually asleep early. I'm in bed for, a good 9 hours to get my 8 hours of sleep. And it used to be 10 hours, but now that I'm eating better and feeling healthier, it's less time that I have to spend in bed to get that good sleep.
Nice.
But sleep it's so easy to get that off, because you are, going to more parties, staying out later, and then you still have your morning responsibilities. So you're only getting, 5 or 6 hours of sleep instead of 7, 8, or 9.
Right.
And so sleep is usually the thing that wobbles for me. And I sometimes just have to take a step back and say, I don't care if it's 7 o'clock. I am tired and I'm going to bed. I'll see you tomorrow.
That's right.
So, okay, good. Well, let's do a little, I know we're getting close to time, but I wanted to kind of do a little holiday, what would you do hot round. And so we're each going to ask a question, and then just one of us will answer. Whoever wants to answer can answer. And then that way we'll just kind of do it like a lightning round. Okay. You ready?
Cool. Yes.
Okay. So you walk into the office break room and there's a table full of cookies. Amber, what's your move?
I ask myself, when is my next meal? And if it's coming up soon, then I grab the cookie and then I save it for my carb after I've had my protein and my fat.
Oh, that's a very good strategy. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. What about travel day chaos? Flights delay, airport food court food. What is in your bag when you're traveling?
I can take this one because when we go to San Diego, a lot of times that happens. And I'm actually flying to Florida soon. So we'll see what happens with travel chaos or not. But for me, I always have my go bag. I always have meat sticks, and I have my protein bars with me. I'll have some fruit, some apples along those lines. If I do have to eat at a food court, I'm going to be looking for kind of like those bowl type dishes. So, and I'm not a rice person. I never have been. I'll usually have them keep off, like, not necessarily the best, but Taco Bell. So they have their protein power bowl. I will take out the rice because, again, I'm not a rice person. I'll have them go light on the guacamole. If I have to eat at an airport, I'll also kind of look for some of that Asian. You have to kind of watch the sauces on that. But again, not a rice lover. I will take out the rice if I do have to eat in an airport. As for the flight delays and stuff, I have to knock on wood. I've usually been pretty lucky when it comes to flights. Now watch this next flight, I'm going to be delayed. But anyway, just jinx myself. I think you just have to take it all in stride. That kind of goes with that, box breathing. Okay, there's nothing you can do about it. It's outside of my circle of control.
Right.
I can't make the flight take off sooner if I'm stressing. It is not going to help anything. So
Right.
I just sit back, read my book, and listen to the announcements.
Do the
So
best you can with what you have.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, um, when family says, "Oh, come on, it's the holidays," how do you respond kindly but firmly?
Oh, I'll take this one. So, so I kind of like what my client said, and I've been using that more is, you know what? That doesn't make me feel my best. So I don't want it.
Yeah,
No, I'm full. And sometimes, mom will always say, but you need to fill your plate. I'm like, go ahead and put it on my plate, but I'm not going to eat it. I'm not hungry anymore.
right.
So you just kind of have to be firm. And especially with family, because family sometimes gets weird and they're like, oh, great. What diet are you on now? Or, stuff like
Yeah.
that. And so I just voice what I'm doing, and I'm so confident now in what I'm doing is the right thing for me that
Hmm.
it's very easy for me to say, Mom, look, I've had my protein, my fat, and my carb. It was the perfect balance for me. I'm done. Thank you for bringing me that cookie. I'm going to set it aside for the next time we eat.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that it
absolutely.
used to be a trigger for me, but it really isn't anymore.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I'm going to go through maybe some quick tips to get through the holiday easier. So we talked a lot about these. So here's your chance if you have not written this stuff down yet, here's your chance to
Mhm.
write it down because this is gold. So it may be a reiteration, but if you haven't, get your pen because write this stuff down, right?
Or re-listen.
So when
You can re-listen to us too.
exactly, yeah, and share it with friends, of course.
That's right.
So, the things you wanna remember, eat your balanced meals every 3 to 4 hours. If you're not super hungry, have a half of a meal. Instead of having 2 boiled eggs, have 1 and a half of an
Mhm.
apple instead of a full apple, for example, but still fuel your body because that's when it needs it, and that's what it will use to keep you healthy. On
Mhm.
party days, be sure to eat before you go. Be sure to eat after you come home. Again, even if it's a half of a protein bar or half of a protein shake, it still helps you balance your blood sugar and helps your body not hold on to everything that you've eaten. So, use the thing that Elaine talked about, breathe, rebalance, and move on formula. If you feel like you've eaten more than you thought you would, or you've had more desserts, or you just basically didn't do what you said you wanted to do, no guilt. We're not going to have guilt this holiday. We're
Mhm.
going to breathe, take a breath in, and breathe in forgiveness for yourself and breathe out peace, rebalance, and move on with your day, right? No guilt,
Yeah,
girls.
that's right. No guilt.
So keep your mobile kit ready at all times. Elaine talked about traveling with it. I have one that whenever I go somewhere in my car, I
Mhm.
grab it too. And that mobile kit has my easy to grab
Yep.
proteins, fats, and carbs. It'll have, turkey or boiled eggs or tuna pouches. It will have
Mhm.
fruit. It will have nuts or olives. These things I know, and carrots too. Carrots are one of my go-tos.
Yeah.
But these are the things that I know make my body feel good, and I love to have them on hand because then if I'm at a place where I need to eat because it's been 3 hours and my body says I'm hungry, I have what I need. I don't have to graze things that aren't necessarily good for me. And then also, if your blood sugar is balanced, you're not craving foods. So when you look at the buffet table, you can determine and decide for yourself what you want, because you're not eating out of you're not craving things out of hunger. You're eating to balance your body.
Yeah.
So having the food every 3 hours really helps you do that, and it really cuts down on your carb cravings. And then hydrate early, hydrate during the day, hydrate between your meals, add flavors like Coach Amber does before, if you need, something that tastes more than just like water. Move daily throughout the day, little exercise snacks, and sleep intentionally so that your body can repair and be ready for the stress of the next day. So you'll find that when you stay balanced physically, you're calmer emotionally, and you can actually enjoy the season instead of surviving it.
Yes.
If someone is feeling totally overwhelmed right now because we just threw a lot of really amazing information, what is the first simple step they should take?
I think it's just stop and breathe and just think about where you're at. I mean, a lot of times we just get overwhelmed from all of the feedback that's coming to us. It's just like we haven't had time to sort it. So I think it's, what was it? Snap, stop, notice, um,
Ask.
thank you, act, yes, and then pivot. Okay.
Mhm.
So just think about it. And I think that's so important because a lot of times we just get so bombarded and so frazzled with what's going on. We just need to stop for a few minutes.
Yeah. I would echo that, but I would also add being intentional, deciding what you want for yourself
Yes.
each day or each event before you walk into a party, deciding what you're going to do, and then keeping that promise to yourself. So if you decide you're going to eat the dessert, enjoy it, and don't have guilt. If you decide you're going to drink seltzer water instead of wine, drink seltzer water and don't worry about what people are saying. No guilt, but just be intentional about your actions and don't worry about what other people say. You're doing this for you.
Yep.
All right. So we have one more like lightning round type question. What is your favorite holiday tradition that fills your cup without draining your energy?
I think,
Go ahead.
oh, so sorry. No, go ahead. Okay.
No, you
I
go.
think for me, it's just because I don't get to see my entire family all together. So our tradition is we go to my mom's. She hosts, she's 86 years old and she still hosts Christmas Day. So, and I think that's one of my favorite traditions is the fact that we get to go over there, spend time with, not only with her, which I do see her all the time, but with all the grandkids and the great grandkids and the nieces and the nephews and things like that. That's what fills me up.
I love it. For me, I love turning out all the lights in the house and just having the Christmas tree on and some nice Christmas music. Sometimes it's piano music. Sometimes it's the music I grew up on, the stuff that our moms used to play from I'm forgetting their names now. Anyway, the old stuff, that we used to listen to.
My mom was Dean Martin.
Yeah, there you go. And like Bing Crosby and stuff like that, people like that, White Christmas.
Yes.
And so I like to listen to that and just enjoy the light, enjoy the season, think about what it means. And just like, I love to do that at the end of the day, and it just like relaxes me.
Yeah. What's yours, Amber?
My husband and I started this tradition pretty much shortly after the nieces and nephews started coming into our world. On Thanksgiving, we give everybody an advent calendar that relates to whatever they're in to for that time in their life. And then every Christmas, they get an ornament. And so by the time they move out onto their own, they've got ornaments that show the progression of what they loved as they were growing up.
I love that.
That is so nice.
It's so much fun. All right.
So the holidays don't have to be just about food and stress. They can be about things
Right.
that we love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so here is your takeaway. You don't need to white knuckle your way through the holidays. You just need a system and some grace. So when your plate wobbles, steady them. When your mindset slips, breathe. When you enjoy a treat, pair it. Don't worry about it. Have it. Be intentional. Remember, we're looking for prepared, not perfect. That's how you thrive through the holidays. All right. So, friends, before we sign off today, we've got a little holiday surprise for you.
Because what's a glucose, grit, and grace without a delicious game plan, right?
For sure. In the episode description, you're going to find 2 of our go-to holiday favorites: cranberry sage turkey meatballs and a sparkling mocktail that'll make you forget all about the punch bowl or the cocktails.
They are quick, PFC3 balanced, and are guaranteed to impress your family. No sugar crash included.
So grab the recipes below, give them a try, and then tag us with your photos or let us know what you think. I can't wait to try the mocktail.
Because balance
isn't boring.
It's freedom.
All right. So for the next week, here's your challenge takeaway. I want you to focus on one of the 6 plates: nutrition, hydration, movement, sleep, stress, or supplements, and give it a little nudge. If you have been waking up tired, tweak something in your sleep plate. If you know that you've maybe been to the office cookie table a little bit too much, think about having that protein beforehand. If you have an event coming up, build your party plate or pack your mobile PFC kit. But enjoy the holidays and still feel amazing. That's what it's all about. Remember, balance isn't boring, it's freedom. And freedom feels amazing. See you guys next time.
Bye, everyone.